welcome back to Sports Night in Auburn. I'm Mackenzie Collins.
And I'm Taylor Strohmeyer. Tonight we have football updates, details on soccer's first game, soccer and volleyball TV schedules, and more.
With Auburn football quickly approaching, the team continues to practice and scrimmage. The Tigers had their third scrimmage Saturday afternoon. The Tigers' first game is set for Saturday, September 26th against the Kentucky Wildcats. Kickoff will be at 11 a.m. Jordan-Hare Stadium will be reduced to 20% capacity, with all general seating tickets going to students. There will also be controlled premium spaces for the home and visiting team, coach, and player guests. Face coverings will be required for all spectators and event staff.
2 Auburn players tested positive for COVID-19 last week, which resulted in a total of 10 players missing practice. 5 of those players were starters. Every player is expected to be able to play in the home opener.
As far as our COVID updates, we had 2 new positives from this past week. We had a total of 10 players total that were out with COVID-related issues, and 5 of those were starters. So, as it gets closer, obviously, that's a concern, being 2 weeks out with everything that goes with that. The PAE test from the SEC office will start tomorrow, and I believe we'll be tested 3 times a week this week and next as far as that goes. But overall, I thought it was a good week. I think we got some good work in. Once again, trying to get our guys game shape ready and start hitting different scenarios and different situations. So next 2 weeks will be a lot more about Kentucky and getting game ready. I think the big thing is I think we've done an excellent job if you look at the last 3 weeks as far as the number of positives. The challenge is the close contacts. And, that's something that, is a big emphasis for us. But I know that is a big emphasis for everyone. That's the challenge for everyone right now is the close contacts. And so we've really educated our guys. We've told them what they've got to do. We got to stay 6 feet away everywhere we're at. And so I expect our guys to do that. But, you're sitting here 2 weeks from kick, and, you've got some of your guys that aren't practicing. Obviously, it's concerning, but I expect our team, they've done a very good job every time we've challenged them. With something they've done it, and I expect them to continue to do that.
After the Tigers' home opener against Kentucky, they then travel to Athens, Georgia for the Deep South's oldest rivalry. That game will kick off at 6:30 p.m.
Auburn then will come back home and face the Arkansas Razorbacks, then go on the road 2 weeks in a row to take on South Carolina and Ole Miss.
Auburn then will have the Battle of the Tigers on Halloween, where they will play LSU at 2:30. After that, the Tigers travel to Starkville to play Mississippi State.
Auburn returns back home to play Tennessee, then travels across the state to take on Alabama in the Iron Bowl. Auburn rounds out their season at home on December 5th, where they will play Texas A&M.
Sophomore running back DJ Williams had a press conference Wednesday morning. He spoke about his training this summer as well as the upcoming season. Williams said he trained with pro players Sammy Watkins and Robert Jackson during the pandemic.
Actually, I trained with some guys that I never thought I'd train with, so it was pretty good. Just seeing different competition with the higher level. Seeing those guys' speed make you want to go harder every single time. So, this year I feel like we're going to be very explosive, getting the ball to the backs, just from, different routes and stuff like that. And looking at the battle for the running back room, I don't really see it as a battle. We're all family here to make each other better. So I think, we're all pretty valuable. Everybody has their own style. Of course, I feel like my style is more downhill. Worm, he get on the outside, he's gone. Tank's the same way, but he can also run inside. And I feel like, Mark's the same ways too. He can run inside and he also has speed. So. And then Harold, he catch out of the backfield, so that's pretty good. I'm just looking forward to calming down. My freshman year was a lot of jitters and stuff like that, but just calming down and, letting them just run the ball. I believe everybody will have their chance. Just like they gave me mine. So, just got to get in there and do what you got to do.
Junior defensive back Roger McCreary also at a press conference Wednesday morning. He spoke about the team staying safe with the season quickly approaching and the defensive back group as a whole.
Off the field, Coach Mazzan talked to us about being responsible and everything and all that stuff. So we as a team off the field just be responsible for the team and make sure everybody come back negative for the test and everything. And from how that's going, it's going great with the COVID. I mean, I want to play football, so it's not really that hard. I just stay out the way and just practice and keep up my grades. As long as I do that, I don't got to worry about the COVID. Last season, it was really everything. Like, I feel like you always got to develop as a player. So I worked on everything on the out season, but it was more about my confidence, and I feel like I gained that more. And throughout the off season and everything, I feel like I'm in a great position to do great this year. The group now, as starters, I feel like we have a good chance as a whole group, DB group, because me, Tud, Smoke, and Jamie, we all been together since we was freshmen playing together. So it's like a good team chemistry between us. So I feel like it's gonna be great on the field with us communicating everything. From Jamie and size, I believe when I look at Jamie, I see Jamie can play all three positions. He can play cornerback, safety, linebacker, buck. Jamie, he got the size for every position. Like, that boy's a beast on the field. I look at him as like Isaiah Simmons, because that's how great he is. He can do all those things, and I'm happy I'm playing on the side with him. Anthony, I look forward to playing against Anthony every practice, him himself. That's all I go against every day. Me and Anthony love competing against each other. He's fast, so I look at it as me getting better going against a fast receiver. He got everything. Fast, he can do routes, he can break it down on his routes, he can catch, strong hands, all that stuff. It's really fun, like, going against him every day at practice.
Auburn will host its first live sporting event since March this Friday, as the Auburn Soccer team will take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. The team is being tested 3 times a week, and head coach Karen Hoppa is optimistic that all players will be available. Karen Hopper and senior defender and captain Sarah Hukin discussed the upcoming season in a press conference Tuesday morning.
Since August 4th, we've had so much uncertainty. Are we going to have a game? Are we not? Are we going to start on time? Are we going to not? And there was obviously a lot of bad news, and through all of that, our team just stayed the course. We kept working hard, and they stayed focused. And then once we actually were able to have a full schedule and announce a first game on September 18th, the student athletes were thrilled. And I am thrilled that they have this opportunity. It feels really magnified and different. You know, it's opening week, and this is my 28th season as a head coach. There's always a similar feel in opening week, that anticipation and excitement and all of that. And I feel that, but I also feel the weight of everything extra that COVID brings. We don't know what the soccer will look like with no exhibition games. This is the only thing I'll say. No exhibition games, no non-conference games. That's a new one too for me, jumping right into a conference game. So they're as ready as they can be. We've had a lot of great scrimmages. We've tried to simulate an exhibition game, but we'll see what it looks like. I know they're excited to play, but I think it's going to be 100 miles an hour when we start that game from both teams.
It was unfortunate our spring got cut short because we had actually started taking some really big strides as a team that was currently there. But we got that good foundation laid, and then we've had amazing freshmen just come in, and they've added to everything. And, you know, in the summer, we really got to mesh together when we were in small groups, so that really helped. And then we've been able to continue to practice, so that's been great. We've gotten to know everyone and play together, and it's just been really good to be together. For me, the hardest part was probably kind of keeping up the hard work and being disciplined when I didn't know I was going to get to play. And obviously, it being your last year, you know, you want it to be like everything, and you want to be able to play all the games and have a great senior year. So I think the hardest part for me was like staying disciplined in the times of uncertainty. Like when I didn't know I was going to play, should I go run? Should I go practice? Because, like, is it even worth it? But it's going to pay off now that we get to play. So
Seniors Sarah Hukin and Alyssa Mallinson and sophomore Sydney Richards were named to the Southeastern Conference Soccer preseason watch list Thursday. This is Mallinson's 3rd season with the distinction, and Hukin and Richards' 1st. The game will be Friday night at 6 p.m. in the Auburn Soccer Complex. Auburn announced their safety and attendance protocols Tuesday morning. Auburn Soccer Complex will be reduced to an Auburn team pass list, visiting team pass list, and a limited number of the Auburn students. The general public will not be admitted. Face coverings will be required for all spectators and game day workers. Social distancing will also be enforced. There will be a limited amount of bottled drinks and prepackaged food available at the concession stand. All transactions must be cashless. Spectators must sit within their designated area.
4 of Auburn Soccer's 8 games will air on SEC Network, starting with the Tigers' season home opener and SEC kickoff against Mississippi State Friday, September 18th at 6 p.m. The Tigers' games against Texas A&M and Georgia will also appear on SEC Network. Auburn will wrap up their season against Alabama on November 8th at 5 p.m., and that game will also be shown on SEC Network. The SEC Championship will also be shown on SEC Network.
5 of the Tigers' 8 volleyball matches will be televised this fall, starting with the team's season opener against Florida. That match will be in Auburn Arena on October 21st and will air on SEC Network. The second match on October 22nd will be on ESPNU. The remaining 3 games will be televised are Auburn's matches against South Carolina, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Coming up, we'll look at softball's new addition to their staff, as well as swim and dive, golf, and equestrian schedules. Keep it right here. You're watching Sports Night in Auburn.
Yeah! Sam, Elmo!
Oh, hey, Julia. Are you ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how the dog was looking at me?
Welcome back to Sports Night in Auburn. Exciting things are happening in the world of Auburn softball. The team had their first full team practice Monday afternoon. The team has not practiced since their season ended last March due to COVID-19. The Tigers have 5 players who were granted an extra year of eligibility due to the circumstances of last season. Their season will begin spring 2021.
In other softball news, the team has added former Texas A&M pitcher Kendall Potts to their coaching staff. Potts will be a volunteer assistant. Head coach Mikey Dean said, "We are excited to have Kendall join our staff. Kendall has a hunger and passion for the game, which will serve her well as a young coach. As a pitcher, she will give us another set of eyes on our staff." 2 players were selected to Softball American's Top 100 of 2021 list. Junior pitcher Samantha Yarbrough was named number 68 on the list, and transfer Kaylee Horton checked in at number 90.
Yarbrough is undefeated with 6 wins and a save. She allowed just 8 runs over 48.2 innings. She allowed just 24 hits and had a 16.1 consecutive scoreless inning streak. Horton transferred from Ole Miss and has not played since 2019, but there is major excitement about her return. At Ole Miss, she had 5 triples, added 4 doubles, and had 13 multi-hit games.
In other sporting news, the SEC announced Monday the plans for men and women's swim and dive, as well as equestrian. The season will begin so earlier than October 1st, 2020, and will end no later than January 25th. The meets will be limited dual meet format, and the number of events will be up each school. Head coach Gary Taylor says the SEC and Auburn Athletics have worked extremely hard to put protocols in place which will maintain the student athletes' health and safety. I appreciate the opportunity they have provided to our program, and our team is excited about competition beginning this fall.
The 2020 SEC equestrian season for the year will begin no earlier than October 15th and end no later than November 22nd, with team competition limited to SEC members or schools within the region of conference members. Teams will be limited to no more than 3 team events. Head coach Greg Williams said, "We have been working hard in our first couple of weeks of practice getting the horses set up and the new members adjusted and ready to go. We are looking forward to turning up the heat as we approach our October meets." The Auburn equestrian team has 5 national championships, with the last one being in 2019.
Auburn women's golf announced they will play in 3 fall tournaments. The first one will take place at the Blessings Collegiate Invitational, which will be October 1st through 6th. The tournament is a mixed event, and all 14 SEC men and women's teams will be there. It will broadcast live on the Golf Channel.
2 weeks later, Auburn will travel to West Point, Mississippi, where the team will compete in a 54-hole event that will run from October 19th to the 21st. This tournament will have all SEC teams as well as Southern Miss. The Tigers will close out the fall season at the Liz Murphy Collegiate Classic on November 6th through 8th. Hosted by Georgia, the tournament will be held at the UGA Golf Course in Athens. When we come back, we will have details about Auburn players in the NFL and information on the new Athletics Unity Task Force. Keep it right here. You're watching Sports Night in Auburn.
Yeah! Sam, Elmo!
Oh, hey, Julia. Are you ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
Welcome back to Sports Night in Auburn. NFL kicked off over the weekend and many former Auburn players shined. Most notable was former Auburn quarterback Cam Newton. In his New England debut, Newton rushed for 2 touchdowns, had 155 yards through the air, and no interceptions. He led the Patriots to a 21-11 win over the Miami Dolphins. Another big player this weekend was wide receiver Darius Slayton. He had 6 catches for 102 yards with 2 touchdowns. All 6 catches were for first downs, and Slayton now has 10 NFL career touchdowns. Former Auburn kicker Daniel Carson also had a big weekend. He went 2 for 2 in field goal attempts, making a career-long 54-yarder. He also went 4 for 4 on extra points.
Auburn Athletics has launched an advisory task force on inclusion and race relations to ensure the university's commitment to positive action on race in the U.S. Co-chaired by Monique Holland and Gary Morgan from Auburn University's Office of Inclusion and Diversity, the 20-member task force presented 3 recommendations for the 2021 academic year to Auburn Athletics Executive Leadership Team, the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and Director of Athletics, Alan Green. The 3 areas the task force recommended including ensuring a safe space for critical conversations, providing holistic education on historic and current topics, and generating sustainable action items that support meaningful change. The task force is comprised of Auburn students, coaches, student athletes, staff, alumni, and members of the campus community, as well as Green and Dr. Taffy Clayton, Auburn University Vice President and Association Provost for Inclusion and Diversity. That's all we have for you tonight. I'm Taylor Strohmeyer.
And I'm Mackenzie Collins. You can follow us on Twitter at EETV_sports and Instagram at EagleEyeTV, and check out our website, eagleeyeauburn.com.
Good night and War Eagle.